and welcome to the Nature Codes podcast. I'm Amira Daly, an energy healer and mentor. I deliver inspirational tips and shares on how to welcome nature into your life to inspire transformation. I will share with you guidance, tips, and interviews to nurture that special bond between you, the universe, and nature. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Nature Codes. I'm so grateful that you could be here today, and I hope you're enjoying the podcast. It's a real joy for me to be able to record these episodes. Whenever I get inspiration, I really try and connect with that inspiration, work out what the message is, how we can learn from these little nuggets of inspiration that we can receive. I'd like to spend this episode talking about the different ways nature can help heal us, connect us, giving us energy, love and light and hope, how it can heal our bodies and our minds and just nourish us, nourish our souls. So I'd like to spend a few minutes of your time just going through the different steps that I use to use nature whenever I feel the call to cleanse, renew, and recharge myself. Nature truly is something that we can promote healing of each other, our bodies, our energy. Nature gives us life. It's part of us. It's part of our being. It nurtures us. It gives us energy. It creates the environment in which we can live and feel sustained and nourished. And so going back into nature makes complete sense when you need clarity, healing, to feel at peace and at one with yourself and the universe again. And so it makes complete sense that we should prioritize nature as part of our healing. And so I just wanted to also point out that the elements of nature can heal us in different ways. We've got water, fire, earth and air. And all of these are really important to sustain ourselves. So water we've talked about before. I've got a whole podcast episode just on water that if you haven't listened to that would be a good thing to listen to. We can go into water when we want healing. You can probably hear the rain. I'm in my conservatory and the rain's just hitting the roof, so this is the perfect time to be talking about water. Water is 99% of our molecular mass, so it is the most healing thing that we can do. Drinking water, immersing ourselves in water, feeling the rain on our skin grounds us. Even the sound, the smell, the presence of water reduces our stress hormones and increases our endorphins, feel-good hormones. Not only that, I believe water cleanses our energy, removes negative energies in our bodies. It's a real cleanser. So if you feel you've got any stuck energy or you need some kind of healing, going into water can really help with that. We've also got the cold water therapy, which I'm sure a lot of you know a lot about. Drinking water is essential for cleansing our system, removing impurities, toxins, and just supporting our energy body in general. It allows us to receive insights and upgrades, supporting our bodies through intense energies and removing negative energies from our body. Moving on to air, we've got the wind. The wind can be really supportive to people. Some people absolutely love being in windy environments. It feels nourishing and revitalising to your energy. Other people probably aren't so keen. I've really learnt to understand it as a healer now. I've changed my perspective and actually love walking in the wind and the rain. If you just invite it in and be with it, it feels great. It feels calming, and you come back with a new sense of energy and spirit, and it's just, yeah, feels really cleansing. We've also can see air as something we're breathing in, and within the air are smells and senses, and we know that walking through forest, inhaling all of the essential oils from the different plants and trees calms our system and nourishes us. It's a real medicine, just igniting our olfactory senses. I really believe in the therapy of essential oils and how we can use it as a medicine. So it makes total sense that walking in nature and naturally breathing in these scents calms our energy and our physical bodies. When we walk along the coastline, we're breathing in water and the smells of the ocean and the salts and the minerals, and that in itself is nourishing our bodies as well. I've talked about grounding before and how important this is. I really try and ground myself on the earth's energy at least once or twice a day. If I'm feeling particularly low or that I need grounding more, I will go out purposefully every few hours and just barefoot on earth, grass. Feeling the wind on us is also grounding. Being in the water is also grounding. We're basically synchronizing our body to the frequency of the earth, which is known to be a calming frequency. This frequency helps to regulate our emotions and release any negative energy into the ground. Scientifically pairs up the free radicals with electrons from the earth, means that your body's not full of those toxic free radicals that can cause disease. And so it is a massive benefit if you are going through any health issues to just ground those free radicals, allow your body to repair and recover from any illnesses, but also prevent any illnesses. When you have free radicals in your body, this can build up and eventually cause disease. And so going into nature and grounding yourself reduces the levels of these free radicals within your body. Fire, we know, is also an amazing thing to use as a meditation technique. It also calms your system, reduces any stress hormones, and increases your endorphins. Just staring at fire is meditative. It is known as a healer. People specifically just use fire as a healer. It is hugely beneficial. I light candles when I meditate to bring this fire element. I watch campfires and try and meditate into that. There's even YouTube of fires being filmed, and you can even just sit down at home, and even if you don't have any fire, just watching fire, even just imagining fire cleanses your system as well and calms. This brings me on to the moon, and we can combine the use of fire and the moon as well. The moon is extremely powerful. I use the moon massively in my practice. On the new moon, I'm in the space to manifest. I look at what that moon is about, depending on the astrological sign it's in, which then helps me to understand what this moon is allowing me to do. So I usually use the new moon for manifestations, and then I use the full moon to release any blockages within my system. For the full moon, I usually a few days before feel like blockages are coming up, and that looks like in my everyday life either physical issues that are coming into my system or emotional issues that are rising up and coming up into my reality. I then write those issues down on a piece of paper under the full moon, and I ask the full moon to help release these from my body. I then use the element of fire and burn my piece of paper under the full moon, and that really helps me to release those lower energies. I also charge my crystals under the full moon so that my crystals can be cleansed and rejuvenated. Crystals are so powerful because they hold a frequency within them that supports our bodies and supports the earth. And so I really love using crystals in this way as well. The sounds of nature can be extremely healing. There's been studies to show that listening to bird song reduces our cortisol levels and increases our endorphins. Just the sounds of the rain, the sounds of the earth, the sounds of animals, even whale song has been extremely healing for people. Dolphins, their clicks, it's their ultrasound actually physically heals people. Just immersing yourselves in the sounds of nature is extremely beneficial for your mental health and your physical health as well. And you don't have to be outside when you listen to the sounds of nature. There's a lot of meditations that you can find that uses whale song, dolphin sound, natural sounds from forests and seas, which really allows you to connect to nature without having to be in nature. So this is really helpful. If you don't have access to nature, you can use these meditations to really ground yourself into the natural energy of the earth. The earth is also created in a fractal composition. So fractals are nature's patterns, and these are extremely healing visually. Even just looking at leaves, looking at flowers, the fractal nature of these physical realities of nature really help your mental and physical bodies. There's been studies to show just looking at these fractals have a real calming effect on your bodies and put yourself into a meditative state of healing. And so just walking around looking at nature is also hugely beneficial. And again, you can do this by watching nature on screens, although obviously getting out and being in nature is the most healing. Fractals are repeated patterns. So nature uses repeated patterns from the large scale right down to the tiniest form that you can't even see. It's repeated patterns, these repeated symmetries, these are fractals. I'm just going to read to you the definition of fractals so you can kind of understand what I mean. A fractal is a geometric shape that contains detailed structure at arbitrarily small scales, often exhibiting self-similarity, where parts of the shape resemble the whole. So these have been proven to be extremely healing. The amazing thing about all of this is you can see that just going for a walk, you are benefiting yourself in so many different ways. You're visually viewing the fractals, you're smelling the scents of the trees and inhaling the essential oils, you're grounding yourself with the earth, as long as you're touching the earth in some way. Even with rain on your skin, that's grounding yourself. You're basically healing yourself in so many different ways. That's why nature is so powerful, and you feel so restored after having just a short walk in nature. And of course, the animals of nature, interacting with animals is hugely therapeutic. We've got dogs and dolphins and horses who actually come in to heal people, especially children with disabilities. Dogs go into care homes to help elderly people. There's so much healing that can happen when we immerse ourselves in the natural world. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I hope it inspires you to look at nature in a different way and to look at nature as a healer, something that can nurture your healing journey, your mental health and your physical health. I'd like to thank Enid for her lovely review, 5-star review. Thank you so much, and I'm so glad that you enjoy listening to my podcast. Sending you so much love. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please subscribe to the Nature Codes podcast so you never miss an episode. If you enjoy what I'm sharing, please rate and leave a review so that other nature lovers can find me too. And lastly, follow me on Instagram at The Nature Codes for more inspiring free content, as well as access to all of my programs.